Game 3. I'm ready to Pixel. This is Fogged, and we're ready to get stuck into this one. What do we reckon then? For the panel seem to say whoever's going to start taking this at the start, it's going to be hard to swing the game around. Tempo's the name of the game. Would you agree?
I think tempo's the name of the game most of the time when you're playing versus a team like Vici, right? That's the way that they've been playing. They like to win games like within that, like, well, especially at this tournament, we've seen them win those 20-minute games quite a lot here. And yeah, this one, they do seem like they can set the tempo. They also have a quicker pace draft and like moving lanes around, right? What I see is like they can actually like gank lanes and switch their lanes up. While I look at NiPs, I feel like their lanes are extremely static. Like Jakiro's not one of those heroes you're gonna rotate and go for a gank. Your Sanking is he's your core hero, so he's not gonna move out of the lane. Enigma doesn't really gank lanes until like 5-6 minutes. So I feel like it's a quiet start for NiP in those 6 minutes when I think Vici, Venge can move lane, Disruptor can move. These two, I've seen DY and I've seen Fade duo roam quite a lot for this team. So I think that's the one thing that I'm a little concerned for NiP if they don't see these rotations coming in. But they do have a pretty good PL game, like the panel was talking about. He's even gone for double Stout Shield.
And NiP seem to be a fan of that itemization, and understandable, especially if, of course, the PL ends up in a lane against these pesky right-clickers such as the Prophet and his Treants. We'll see whereabouts they stand around. We'll see Yang, obviously hoping to have a bit of a better game than he did at the start of this series on his Prophet.
It's a PL that he wants, he wants to, or he's ideally trying to lane versus the Nature's Prophet, just like last time. When he was a Naga Siren, it's a similar concept. High armor, agility hero that you can actually trade hits with and not worry so much about those Treants. And it's also 5 ranged heroes on Vici, right? So that Stout Shield, it's pretty nice.
Now we'll see as the lanes begin. DY is going to start out in the middle, helping out Ori on the first wave at least against Fada's Razor. Of course, one of the all-time sort of Fada classics is Razor.
Yeah, they're just starting that dual lane just to make sure that he can't actually get an advantage over the Deuce early on. Because Deuce, very slow hero. Like, even though Razor is one of the slower ones in the early few levels, he actually has a 10 movement speed advantage on the Deuce. So starting out there to make sure that you can guarantee some last hits and not just get linked and lose the lane.
Just the fact that DY is sort of starting off here with Ori open up any of these side lanes to be really good for NiP?
Yeah, I mean, the bottom lane, Ace is going to have free farm, for sure, as this PL.
So it was a very deep play here in that mid lane there for DY and Ori. PPD is just going to respond, TPing in. Hammers down quite a bit of damage onto DY, not enough.
The thing about DY doing this in this game is he's versus an Enigma, right? So you actually have free reign to run around the map and make your own decisions what you want to do with that time. Because Enigma's not going to be putting too much pressure on anyone. He's just going to be denying with those Eidolons, constantly denying that range creep over and over again and getting farm, not actually putting pressure out. So do like that for DY. As top, we see, 33. He's not getting the most last hits up here versus this Weaver and this Venge, having a bit of a tough time, because they do have 2 sentries in preparation for if he does try to go for some Sandstorm plays.
Mid lane Fada does get a static link off. Did have to leave forward for quite a bit to get that damage drain. Has to be a little careful against these two.
Peter,
PPD.
he really wants to guard this regen.
Ooh.
DY actually might lose his life to deny the regen rune here.
So he should do so. If the Field Skill tries to drag in the Ancients to deny himself, but will not be the case. PPD getting that first blood. But, still denying Fada the regen rune. It's pretty nice for his mid laner. Fada does have a salve, though.
PPD passed him over. That salve was his. So PPD gets the first blood. He's like, all right, well, here you go. My salve is kind of like a regen anyway for you. Sure, he doesn't get his mana back for the plasma field, but it's at least something for himself. A lot of denies coming out for Yang in this bottom one. So the PL, I was saying, I was talking about how it's similar to the Naga. You're not as much armor and you don't have your mirror image, as easy to spam out. And you actually can't push the lane out. That's the one thing about Naga is that you can actually kill these treants because of your Riptide just constantly hitting them. PL can't do that. So Ace is definitely going to have a bit of a tougher time down here, even though he got the Ring of Health given by Saksa and the double Stout Shield. He can't actually clear out these treants as effectively as comparison.
So with that in mind, Jay, you certainly do expect to see Yang continue to have this very nice CS down here.
Yeah, he'll have a much better time than the last NP game that we saw.
A nice simple lane for him to play. As long as it stays like that, with just Ace being down there.
See DY just still sitting in that mid lane, just wanting to make sure Dusa can have a good time.
Just keeping the farm even between these two heroes in mid, Ori and Fada.
Yeah, and the levels are fine. Like DY's sapping, he's not sapping the most experience actually. He's only, like the levels on the Deuce and the Razor are pretty much identical. PPD making his way over toward that mid lane. He is spotted by the ward. And he's going to find himself a D ward in the meantime. But now Fade, that rotation we were talking about, these supports, they can move around pretty easily from the side of Vici. And
PPD. Yeah, he should go down here. If they can get the last touch to Ori, that would be very sweet for Vici, and they can. Ori gets the extra gold. A very worthy movement away from that mid to pick that kill up. Both Ori and DY quickly resume their business back here in the middle, making sure they can do as much as they can to ensure that Fada doesn't get out of control on his Razor.
33 is able to get a couple of decent pulls up top. As soon as the Venge does leave top, he feels a lot safer, but we also see Paparazi actually bought his own dust, so note out there to the pubs, right? Buying dust and sentries when you're laning versus a Sand King, very important. Even the cores in some of these pro games will make sure to do that, so make sure you don't... I mean, he just sits in Sandstorm. You have to do something of it. You have to address it, and spending 108 in gold isn't going to kill your economy.
I'm going to try and chase down Fade, both 33 and PPD. Paparazi. 2v2. We'll see which heroes come out on top. There's the Bro Strike commit, and it will allow 33 to grab that bounty rune away. And once again, NiP just showing how well they prioritize these runes. At the start of this one, 5 minutes in, they'll get the 3 of them.
I've seen this by Fada a couple of times too when he's playing versus the matchups that he doesn't really think he's like gonna get the links off. And actually, I think it's just a Fada thing too, because I've seen him do it versus others. He just maxes the plasma field instead of going for the unstable build, just because he can't actually get in range to always get on top of like the Deuce in the laning phase. He just pops it to make sure he can secure range creep.
On top lane, this time, once out again, onto 33 with the dust, and bam, they'll kill him this time.
We talked about the rotations, right? These duo supports. This is what we're going to see Vici do to punish NiP when they have an Enigma. You know that you have to make moves around the map because the Enigma is just going to be jungling, and Enigma Saksa will have that Dominator finished up at the ideal time. You know, you want to get it around that 5 to 6 minute mark, so you time it with that first catapult wave. So he can make his way down bottom if he wants to even take the opponent's siege creep and then just look to take this tower.
Yeah, no, what, 6 minutes in, you've had an Enigma in the jungle, you're pretty much level net worth, you're happy, right? If you're NiP, you've gotten away with having this jungle hero.
He got the ideal timing. This is exactly when you want to see the Enigmas get their Dominator, like I was saying. Between that 5 and 6, he actually takes the Troll Summoner, which can actually allow them to pose some kill threat instead of going for that catapult, which would just be straight for the sieging. This could still just work the same anyway.
I'll see Ace getting aggressive onto Yang, diving deep behind the tower. Yang will try for the TP out, but Sax is in with the Malefice. TP cancelled and Yang's dead. Same time up top. Kinetic Field will control both PPD and 33. Another dust from Fade out onto the Sand King. But they cannot dive. Paparazi, yeah, taking far too much damage, so cannot continue to push on any further. Does just have the 1 bottle charge. Of course, still yet to have that 6 on the Weaver, so no time lapse to allow him to play any further into the opponents on that top. For this bottom lane, space for Ace. Tower is taken, 7 minutes in. Getting the kill on Yang, getting the tier 1 tower.
Really helps him so much that he just had that ring of health inside that laning phase the whole time. Because Yang, even though he was doing a great job of trying to bully him, he just couldn't versus all that extra regen. And now, yeah, they're just going to keep putting the pressure on down this bottom lane. 2k gold advantage ready for NiP. And Saksa, which moves does he want to make? Which lanes does he want to hit? He is spotted making a move toward the mid lane onto Ori. They did see him for a second with that ward bottom, but Ori...
incredibly low. There's going to be a TP coming in, but that's not going to be there before Ori dies. Just immediate punish of sort of Ori's greed, sticking around on that mid lane as low as he is. DY, I think there's pretty much a triple stack that he's been able to clean up with those Thunder Strikes. He got over on this half of the map, and this was a triple stack that he's just been able to take away. This is some juicy experience for the Disruptor.
Yeah, for sure.
And gold.
That was a bit surprising from Ori. Like, the Enigma, Saksa actually just walked through that ward that was on the bottom side, so he saw the Enigma coming toward the mid lane.
That's a bit peculiar.
Yeah, punished for his greed. I guess he just stepped up, wanted to get the snake off, thought he'd live. Not too sure.
Let's see if they can get these kills in return on mid. TP in towards the mid. Look at the magic missile out onto Fada. Ori moving forward. Paparazi hunting from in the trees. Fada, he's still in there hiding. The bugs will latch upon him. So Fada will fall to the movement of the full 5-man of Vici Gaming. Paparazi's trying to find PPD as well. The Jukes, though, not enough surely to save him. The Wave of Terror did clip him, so Paparazi knows that PPD is still sticking around. He's trying his best with the Jukes, but with that double damage rune, Paparazi cleans up a second. Bottom lane, though, 7 minutes ago, yeah, they take the tier 1 tower. 8 minutes, they're taking the tier 2. Ace just continuing to get away with a hell of a lot of space down here.
The power of having that Enigma with that early Dominator. They can't actually respond versus too well at all with their heroes at the moment. They can make moves on other lanes, but that bottom lane is definitely quite a big of a problem. And we said, you know, if it's a good PL game, which it does look to be so, that he has a lot of different things that he can disjoin and just not really get disabled, and his illusions are pretty good in this game too, it can be successful for NiP. And look at how farmed he is. 1,000 over the Weaver at the moment. And he's even starting to make rotations in with these treads. Level 8 as well. Looking for another tower. Just bring that Enigma in there with the PL.
Taking this map control, playing it fast. And they'll get it. Very little the Vici Gaming can do to stop that sort of a push. Paparazi getting in the trees on the side, but he cannot afford to commit in towards the fight.
Yeah. And there's a lot of team fight. Like last game on NiP, they didn't really have that much team fight coming together. This one, they have Enigma, they have Sandking, they have Jakiro, even the Razor contributed in there too. They have a crazy amount of team fight in comparison. I mean, Vici, they still do have it, but not as much as NiP does by any means. And we even have 33 going for an early Veil.
Ow, fade. This is going to be another kill. Ace able to pick it up with the help and setup of Saxa. TPs have come in. They want to kill Ace. He is pretty deep. This will be a very, very big kill to get, as this PL has been having pretty much a free farm, free game. He see if he can go for any sort of cute micro. Doesn't matter. They'll clean out the illusions. The snake bounces. The Sprout. Ace is trapped. He's trying his best to run away. Another glimpse will drag him back into the clutches of Vici Gaming. And Paparazi will be the one to claim the kill on Ace. Finally putting an end to Ace's entirely free 10 minutes where he'd just been hanging around, farming and pushing lanes down bottom. As he's eventually taken off the map, but still we can see the damage done. 3k lead at the moment for NiP because of how much farm Ace has got. And
they just keep threatening towers too. They're just shoving in the lane. We see 33 just Sandstorm pushes a wave out, then PPD tries to hit the tower a bit here. 33 though is getting blocked here by that Sprout.
Does have a burrow strike. See if he can play his way out. Another Dust is there onto 33. Static Storm down. He is well and truly trapped. 33 will fall. So not only just killing off Ace, getting 33 as well. Vici Gaming starting to get some of these core kills as they are caught alone.
Yeah, that was such a nice Sprout, just not allowing him to go that way. 33 really thinking he would survive, but yeah, they think they gave the tome to DY there, making sure that he can have that early level 6 on Disruptor, which is probably the most important one in this game to have early, because that'll allow them to get kill threat not only on like Sandking, but also on the PL.
Allows him for kill threat. Oh, Saxa, he's going to go for this black hole onto Paparazi, and with the Hellbear Smasher, he has the damage to do so. Sure, he'll die, but Saxa, as a support, just solo killing off Paparazi. Well and truly worth the trade. And Ace, he's even going to try and clean up for more. He charges in onto Yang, and he'll get it. Another clap from the Hellbear Smasher. The claps are real, as NiP claimed 2 kills.
Can't underestimate that extra attack speed you get from the Swiftness Aura. You see how fast those Eidolons as well as the PL were attacking. Can't TP out of that one. So Saxa kind of forcing 2 kills in a way there.
He certainly did. With that aggression, and this area is opened up once again for Ace to continue farming onto the Diffusal after the Yasha.
NiP is just, they're splitting it up all over the place. They're just forcing reactions from Vici. Just constantly pushing in a lane and just making pressure happen. Look, bottom's pushing all the way in again too.
And it is another one of those games where Yang's start, it hasn't been too great. He's got the same farm at the moment as the Sandking. Wait, the Sandking, yeah, no, yes. No, sorry, Saxa. Saxa's the one confusing me. He's the one that's second highest on NiP. I was like, hang on, one of these isn't a core. Yeah, it's Saxa. You know, so for Yang, he's sort of sitting behind the 4s and the 3s.
He's doing okay. He's still not like super far behind, right? He's only like 400
yeah, it's more that Saxa's just having he's having a dream time.
Saxa's having a dream time,
and
Ace is having, he's been having complete free farm, right? Level 11, Yasha going for that diffuser early on. Level 11 already on is one thing. Level 11 PL, level 8 Weaver. The Medusa though, level 10. They have been giving more of that farm to Ori while Paparazi's the one running around trying to make space with his team.
But it really does feel that Vici Gaming is just playing against 4 cores at the moment in this early game.
Sure does.
With through the amount of impact that NiP's heroes can have. As NiP, they're the ones that have come out of the lanes on top. They got away with the Enigma in the jungle.
Yep, and they've got this early Veil now picked up, I believe, for 33 as well, which is going to not only make him do that much more damage, because Sandstorm and everything is a crazy amount, but even the Jakiro and the Razor now are amplified by a huge margin because of that. And it tanks him up. That's the other important thing too, right? He's playing versus Venge and Weaver. That minus armor, this Veil buildup also gives you that armor to kind of counteract that. Now he can play more of a frontliner, which he wants to.
Yeah, and it's super nice because you look at Vici Gaming's heroes. Who wants to build a BKB? Nobody. Who wants to build a pipe? No one. They're like, this is not a lineup that's going to have those sort of items. So this magic damage is always going to do so much. Bottom lane, Yang. Ace and Saxa will find him. Yang will be able to spend up by the Vlads. But a death on the Prophet. more money into the bank account of those two heroes, Ace and Saxa, as they just continue to sail ahead. Loving life right now, those two.
Yeah, definitely feeling like quite a solid start here for NiP. They're all just kind of farming up. We see Fada's also, he's going for that Atos. That's going to be nice versus that Weaver in particular. Also versus the Nature's Prophet. But Ori's just been quietly farming too in the back for Vici. So they still do have that at their disposal. This Medusa is still going to be introduced into the game later on and also buffed up, right? It's not just a Dusa, it's a Dusa with the Venge, so it does make it quite a bit stronger. But right now, yeah, NiP, they've got a fantastic timing for them as they've got all their ultis available. They've got that Veil picked up too, and they're looking to fight.
Yeah, they get sort of one stun or connection onto Paparazi. The follow-up will easily allow them to kill this Weaver. Yeah. Paparazi's got to be careful. One sort of stray burrow strike from 33, and Paparazi will fall. Let's see if they can close the gap. They move in with the smoke. Courier does go out, so they know exactly whereabouts Paparazi is in the trees. Just the Midnight Pulse to clear it out, and Fada is on top of him. Paparazi has the time lapse, jumps over towards the side. They did try and prepare for it. 33 attempting with the prediction. They didn't have a sentry down, so I had to go for sort of play, guessing where he would time that's back to. Didn't catch him, so Paparazi will be able to walk his way back home. We'll see Vici Gaming. They'll get 2 for 2 on the runes. Yang TP's out and the ace around. In top lane, Vici Gaming still sort of posturing in a way that they look like they want to try and fight NiP if they do come down into the river. But NiP aren't going to look to push the issue now. Keeps the high ground.
Ace now has the defusal. I think here he can start look to bully and put pressure on because he knows that this Deuce is just going to be farming. So right now, yeah, he reigns supreme on this PL. But now they're looking to actually just group up and play around the Deuce themselves. So not let this PL just pick people off who are separated from it. So they're just sitting behind Ori. Manta style finished, level 12. They want to look to be the ones on the aggressive moves now. We see NiP, they are rotating up. They have a smoke too. They actually are going to use the secondary smoke here too to bring Saxa
and they still have all those ults, as you say. They have the team fight ready. Vici Gaming, they're trying to fight into this, but they've got to be careful. NiP can get sort of on top of them. The Static Storm's going to be used here by DY to try and control 33. A move in looking for Ori. Ori pops the stun gate for 33 and deep that burrow strike, holding the two of them in place. Buddy getting a massive static link off as they'll kill off DY. Ori's going to get killed, and Saxa, he's ready to chase down for more. He's got his eyes onto Yang. A triple kill for Ace. Yang sprouts himself up, but Ace jumps in with a doppelganger. It's an ultra kill on the PL. I mean, as if Ace's life couldn't get any better this game. It just did. Picks up an ultra. He's already hitting this 2.5 minutes faster than average defusal. The next time is going to be flying in soon. He's already got the money pretty much for the ultimate orb on his Manta style.
And that was them not having to really throw any ultis out. They didn't have to throw out the epicenter. They didn't have to throw out the black hole. And that was before, I believe, that I think now he has it finished, but that was before the mech is finished. And now Enigma has a mech on top too. That was the perfect fight for NiP getting that wraparound. DY was forced to throw that static storm because he almost died to just the dominated creep, as well as those Eidolons from Saxa. Now the team fights. Now they have mech around that team fight too, and we were talking about how Ace. That was the time where he's going to reign supreme, right? Now, like you said, he has a full Manta style on top too.
These sort of item timings that Ace is hitting are absolutely ridiculous. Having the Manta and with the mech backup, Ace, he shouldn't die unless he gets caught out very much alone. Even then, he'll be able to play around with them for quite some time with those illusions. They will scan out the Roche. Vici Gaming know that this is going on, but there is little to nothing they can do about this. They will start to head towards the pit. With the summons out, the illusions as well, they're killing it pretty fast. PPD sort of just going to put his body in between the two sides. Paparazi, I mean, can he try for some sort of steal? He's going to get rooted straight away. Has to immediately time-lapse away from NiP. The space is there for NiP to finish off Roshan. Ace now has an Aegis as well as a Manta. 17 minutes in. He feels very invincible against this lineup of Vici Gaming.
Absolutely. And he's level 15 too, so he's got that health talent as well. So sitting at like 1850 HP if he's on strength strides, and he's just running in. Look at this. He's the one leading the charge, just walking up onto that high ground with no fear. Because he's got that Manta. If he does get static stormed or something, he can play around the kinetic, you know, he can walk to the edge and try to push himself out with it.
Goes bottom. And fade. Ori and Yang, they are looking towards Fada. Fada is pretty separated from the rest of NiP. They get the swap back on Fada into the hands of Ori. Yang, Fade, and Ori, they've certainly got the right click to beat through him as Fada pushing out a little alone, a little far away from the team. Will fall, Ori gets the gold. So now we'll see NiP try and collapse upon them, make them pay for taking down the Razor. Yang self-sprout, tries to TP out, it's not going to happen. Ice Path catches him, 33 has the damage. Yang dying once again on his Prophet. I feel like Yang, this series, if you looked at his KDA on Prophet, it's probably not great.
Yeah, and also he built the Vlads, right? And I clicked on the Venge quite a long time ago. Okay, he sold it. The Venge had Vlad's recipe inside of his inventory for a bit. He actually just sold it, and now he's going to be going back for that medallion.
Yeah, never go double Vlads.
Yeah.
But an 8K lead for NiP. This match looking to be back on track to the first one. They were knocked down hard in game 2 with a very strong showing from Vici Gaming, as I think people would have potentially expected out of this series. But NiP just coming in with these approaches. Game 1, able to set up the lanes in a way that Ace got this beautiful start. Game 3, sort of the same. He gets this lane down bottom, and he does not fluff it up. He keeps it cool. He's got incredible farm. The movements are perfect. And NiP as a unit, 8K ahead, 12-9. The kills are close, but the game certainly isn't at the moment, as NiP have full control.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the bounty runes coming out. Paparazzi's trying to claim. He has a Maelstrom finished up now, too, so he's building toward the items he needs to address the PL, but they are quite far behind right now. As he's actually going to just get Blackholed here.
Blackhold and Epicenter and everything. They hate that guy, and he's gone. Weaver's dead. Yang as well. He says, hey, I'm good at dying. I want to join in. And he certainly will. Yang, he's gone. Another death on the Prophet.
Man, Yang really is struggling in this one. 0, 6, and 6 now. He just every time he comes out, he just seems to die. Every time he tries to join and help out his teammates.
It's very strange from Yang.
It really does seem like it's going to be, I mean, the Ori show, right? Ori and Paparazzi are going to have to pull something crazy together for this game. And Paparazzi, he's been having a bit of a tough one, too, on the Weaver in this game. He's 4-2-2, but I mean, he's versus a PL, so the natural matchup of the heroes just isn't great for him. So Ori, level 14, almost has his Hurricane Pike finished up, which will be nice, because then he can actually get himself away from that link that we saw happen last fight. But yeah, looking quite scary right now. 10K, 11K gold lead, actually.
Yeah, this is an absolute lead from NiP, as into the base they go on this middle lane. They don't have the Epicenter, they don't have the Black Hole, they don't need it. As this tier 3 tower taking a beating down to half health. What can they do? Big Nature's Wrath onto Ace, but of course still a minute and a half left on the Aegis. We'll get dragged back with a glimpse. They'll kill him the once. See if they can do anything to follow it up the second time. It doesn't look like it. They don't want to go outside of the base. NiP will be allowed to walk off, but at least for Vici Gaming, they are able to push NiP back momentarily. As Ace's build, Heart to be queued up next, making sure that he can stay strong for these siege attempts, be able to hang about, refuel up to full HP, get himself straight back in there.
It's just pretty much a full item over the Dusa, and now they're starting to be able to get this map control, right? Look at the wards they've placed down now on the side of NiP. All right, control the ancient area. Don't let the Dusa get to this point anymore where she can farm this over and over again. And if they can just do this kind of like suffocation and keep this farm going, this Dusa is not going to be able to get enabled to farm at the pace at all of this Phantom Lancer. Ace, yeah, Heart is going to be done very soon. So.
Hard done for him. Saxa wants to join in the fun. He's got 1,700 gold towards a queued up Blink Dagger.
Yeah, the real big timing for the Dusa in this game is when you can get your Butterfly, because you're playing versus a Phantom Lancer, right? So not your natural MKB builder, but he's just, or he has to go for these smaller items in between, has to go for the Manta, has to go for the Hurricane Pike this game to try to save himself or his allies from Link, but it's just going to delay that Butterfly and make the game quite tough for themselves. And they're all just, I mean, a lot of NiP heroes are just tanking up. See the Vanguard now being picked up for 33. He's going to be going for that Crimson.
Just getting these items in place that are going to allow them to go to the high ground. And,
yep.
And they know they get these items done. Vici Gaming, they just don't have the items. They don't have the damage to push that sort of push back.
They're actually even smoking toward top. They're looking for Yang again.
Oh no, Yang, not like this. Not again. Yang, have some mercy on this poor old Prophet. They will. They'll turn towards Paparazzi. At least with a nice part, but he did get the Shikuchi off in time. At least Yang now knows that they're around here, so he won't die. He will sprout out, as TP out of there. He's not going to make that mistake again.
They're trying to make moves on Vici. They smoked out. They saw the sinking. They see that NiP splitting up a bit here, too. But they're not actually able to find the kill just yet. They see the sinking again. They're maybe expecting him to be farming this camp, and they are. Yeah, Fade's trying to set up this this kill, which could be very nice.
They
Much
need a
needed.
big core kill. They need to get this. They can't afford for this one to go wrong. They look towards 33. 33. Thunderstrike. They're able to Burrow Strike. They do have the glimpse. That'll get him back in their hands. They do get that kill. They needed that, and they did get it. Now they need to make sure they don't give anything else up here. But Yang already been Malefist. Yang will be the first to fall. Can NiP get more Stone Gaze?
hits
Razor.
Razor.
It's turning. They're going to get fodder as well. Vici Gaming. 2 huge kills for them to get. It may not even be done yet. Paparazi moving on. He did get the bugs out onto PPD, who's starting to lose a hell of a lot of armor. Saxo will pick up the blink. Oh, he bought the blink from the side shop, then jumped in. He's got to be a bit careful. They lost the third. Okay, got glimpse back. Okay. he's got the blink back up, so he should be able to get away. No, he didn't use it in time. Can they chase him? No, Paparazi's going to let him go. But still, Vici Gaming getting those kills in a game where they're 10k behind, showing they've still got signs of life in them. You know, they are yet to lose a tier 3 tower inside the base. It is one of those games where they have this deuce, so they can hold high ground. And as we saw, they can still make plays outside of their base.
They do still have very high physical damage, like we mentioned. It is a Deusa, but you also have the bench.
Yeah, I mean, Fada died so quickly, though.
Yeah, he actually like got caught right at, because he was turning too. He was turning to try to kind of face away of it, but it looked like the perfect degree angle that would catch him in the Stone Gaze. And then he got hit by bugs, and there's a Vengeur and a Wave of Terror. So all that minus armor, you know, the physical damage is definitely still there for Vici.
Oh, Yang, 33. He's after him. Yang will try to TP out, but the damage from the epicenter will do the job. Another death on the Prophet. Still this 12k lead, but as I say, if Vici Gaming can make that happen a couple more times, especially if they can kill Ace, they can get this PL kill, that's going to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure. If they can get Ori to this place where he gets that butterfly, that's when he's just so much stronger versus this lineup. They still have a lot to dish through the Mana Shield, though, between that Midnight Pulse and everything and all their different spells. But it'll help a lot versus just the standing toe-to-toe versus the Phantom Lancer when she is able to get it.
Oh, Saxa. He's found Paparazi straight in, no hesitation with the Blink Black Hole. Setup's there for 33, and bam, Paparazi's gone. Saxa
having a hell of a game on this Enigma. 5-1 and 10. He is part of 15 of their 18 kills as an Enigma. Usually you might see it be a little bit more quiet because it's more of your farming kind of SQL, but no, Saxa has not been hesitant on those black holes or those rotations. He has found multiple cores.
And into the base they go. We'll see if they're able to force out any sort of buyback from Paparazi. He's dead for 30 seconds. See how much they can get there with the fortification out of Vici Gaming. Ice Path onto the Deucer. They'll send the illusions through as well, starting to burn some of the mana of Ori. Have to back up a little bit. Sprout's not going to do much at all as Ace is already in range of the tower, and that's the tier 3 gone too. Ori does manage to get the deny, but still, it's the base opened up. Glimpse onto Ace won't be followed up by anything. They don't have anyone else ready to control that PL. They won't have to buy back on the Weaver. As I say, the shrines are now there for the taking as NiP can just continue to hold this map dominant.
Man, they do not have damage to do with these illusions or with this PL at all right now, though. Even when he's got the butterfly will help quite a lot. And they do at least have the Maelstrom up on the Weaver, which will be able to clear a bit, but they're too tanky now. Right now it's 3,000. Same thing as the Naga game when he has 3,300 or 3,500 HP. And similar that he has an almost full item advantage, but Ori is starting to trickle closer and closer. It's Yang's job pretty much to now, even though he's 0 and 8, he's died a lot, it's kind of his job to just keep these lanes pushed out as much as possible and maybe just accept the point that he will die in some of these where he does just
I mean, I guess that's the benefit of when you've died that many times. It's like, you as a kill, he's not worth a lot to NiP. So if they are having to react to him.
Yeah, he's just forcing this, right? He's forcing someone to come down to these lanes. It's going to be a lot of money for PPD, but he's forcing the reactions and splitting up the map a little bit, which is buying some time for Ori to get the farm, which he desperately does need on this Deusa. Almost having that butterfly finished up now. So he'll have a good, he'll have that good core v core matchup versus the PL. But yeah, there's still a lot of other things he does have to deal with.
And it's going to be a similar time to Ace getting his own butterfly.
Yeah.
But he is here, as you say, in a game where his team is 13k behind, to be still just 2k gold behind the enemy PL. That's quite a feat here by Ori.
And your Weaver's relatively close, at least with the Razor. Paparazi's doing okay. I mean, they don't know that exactly, of course. We have network chart, they don't. But they probably can still feel, because Paparazi, he's getting close to a BKB, which will help him a lot in the fights. Because right now it's still, if he gets caught by a stun, it's likely that he can die. You know, it's been a black hole once or twice, but that'll make him be able to actually focus fire the supports in the back lines a lot easier without worrying about some random ice path or burrow strike that'll take him out.
Oh, nice. Well, come in to stop the push here that was attempted by Paparazi. BKB, as you say, it's going to be good for Weaver at least to try and just not fall over in the front of the fights.
Yeah.
But still, those fights, they're going to be rough. Especially if the ults are there for NiP. If they can get this sort of lead in with either 33 or Saxa.
Yeah, it's going to be Paparazi like going, go for the back lines with that BKB. BKB, find Jakiro, kill him out really quickly. Maybe try to interrupt some like Blink Daggers or something from Sanking and Enigma, and then look to focus fire once you've cleaned up. Well, for NiP, I mean, they've got a lot easier ways to team fight. They just have so many different things at their arsenal.
Vici Gaming coming pretty far out the base with this movement up top. The four of them behind the creep wave. Nobody on NiP up here at the moment. We're sure to see if any do head up there. Looks like Vici Gaming already splitting back up as just leaving both the two Yang up here leading the push. He's got the backup of DY behind him on the Disruptor if he gets gone upon. Paparazi is heading over. NiP, they are starting to become aware of this. They have Saxa leading the way.
4 bounty runes again. Look at that. 20 to 8. They have 5,000 gold of their advantage is just from bounties. It's ticked up to 16k gold lead, and it's 12,000 experience lead as well, so they're keeping that up, just keeping themselves farmed up. Yang will get an item soon, though, at least on this NP after that Vlad's. He is going to have the Hex almost done on the NP, which, I mean, it's one of the best items in the game, if not the best. That'll be at least something for himself and his team. Just a little bit of extra control. And the good thing for them also is that they will always have something to be able to deal with the Enigma, right? Even if he itemizes, no matter what, BKB, Blink, doesn't matter, you have a Vengeful Spirit on your team. So as long as Fade is in the right position, he can get these swaps off to be able to always stop Saxa. But Saxa has a Blink and a BKB, so if they can ever get rid of that Venge, he can get that Black Hole off freely versus Vici.
The smoke from NiP, they'll get themselves into the base. Ace, the only one to show himself as of yet. See how far forward Ori goes. Does get caught up by the ice path. There's the swap to take him back to safety. Does put Fade in a bit of a dangerous position, though, as he surely will fall. No, another swap.
He's just dead.
Oh, he says, yeah, you can die step, and yeah, he still dies. Fade's gone. Standing Storm's only going to be used onto the illusions. The rest of NiP have already backed up onto the objectives. Ace, he's onto the racks. He'll take it. Now moves in onto Ori. Knows that this time there's no Venge to offer the swap to save him, as Ori just has to back off. Keep himself at a safe distance as the top racks are taken by NiP. They'll move over towards the mid lane. This tier 3 is gone. The racks being exposed. Still 20 seconds where they're only having to defend as 4 heroes on Vici Gaming. There's no buyback available on Fade. Ace,
watch this Black Hole.
He's just leading in. Still 2 minutes left on the Aegis as well. As another Rax being taken. Paparazi and Ori trying their best to push NiP back. But Ace, he's just straight in there. He's fighting with no fear. Knows that he's got that second life. He can't afford to play as such. Does get glimpsed back. They will be able to pot the Aegis. 33 jumps in on the backline. Saxa's in. The Black Hole catches the 3-year-old. Does get stunned though. The Stone Gaze, it was already out. It catches them all. Can they actually have the damage to kill anyone though? They cannot. Vici Gaming, they lose Ori. 24k lead for NiP. A second set of racks being taken as this game, it looks pretty over. 33 in onto Ori with the Burrow Strike. NiP
Absolutely
getting rid of Ori. This is a dieback on the Medusa. GG is called as NiP take game 3, take the series 2-1, beat